Hello dear students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. DC Saxena, Professor and Head of the Department of Food Engineering and Technology at Sant Longowal Institute of Engineering and Technology, Longowal. I am presenting you the paper Technology of Spices and Condiments, wherein the present module will give you the knowledge about the composition of cardamom by my co-author Ms. Romee Jan.
Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Romee Jan from Sant Longowal Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today I am going to talk about Module 17 of paper number 10, Technology of Spices and the Condiments. In this module, we will be learning about the cardamom and its composition. Cardamom is the queen of spices. It's one of the most exotic and highly priced spices. Indian cardamom has a history as old as the human civilization. Southern India and Sri Lanka are regarded as the origin of this spice. Till recently, India was the main producer and the exporter of this commodity. But of late, Guatemala has emerged as a keen competitor to Indian cardamom in the international spice market. Indian cardamom is slightly smaller but more aromatic. As a whole, cardamom is cultivated commercially in India, Sri Lanka, Guatemala, and Tanzania. Cardamom is often named as the third most expensive spice in the world after the saffron and the vanilla. And the high price reflects the high reputation of this most pleasantly scented spice. Cardamom is grown commercially in plantations under the shade of tall forest trees. It's a very labor-intensive crop to produce. The fruits are picked individually by hand before they are fully ripe over a period of several months. Cardamom is among the world's oldest spices. The name cardamom is used for the herbs within two genera of the ginger family, including the Alicaria, which means small cardamom, and the Amomum, which means the large cardamom. Cardamom is used mainly in the Middle East, where Gawa is a popular cardamom coffee combination. It features heavily in curries, pickles, and the custards and the spice blends such as the garam masala in India, and is also chewed as a nut and used as an aromatic and essential oil in perfumes. Cardamom is the dried fruit and is the chief commodity being traded under the name of small cardamom, and is second important spice, still contributing considerable amount of economy to the nation. With the emergence of Guatemala as the leading producer and supplier of cardamom, India's export has declined considerably. Tanzania, Sri Lanka, Papua New Guinea, Honduras, Costa Rica, and El Salvador are the other major producers of cardamom. Still, India is the largest consumer of cardamom in the world. Cardamom is used mainly in the Middle East, where Gawa is a popular cardamom coffee combination. It features heavily in curries, pickles, custards, and spice blends such as garam masala in India, and is also chewed as a nut and used as an aromatic and essential oil in perfumes. Cardamom can be purchased in organic or conventional forms and has a mild, ginger-like sweet flavor. However, value-added products of cardamom are developed as extractions such as cardamom oil and oleoresin, and raw cardamom-based products like cardamom powder, decorticated seeds, seed powder, cardamom cola, beverage, cardamom flavored flan, etc. Flavoring compounds of cardamom are present in the volatile oil. Oleoresin contains no flavoring compounds, hence is less important. The active chemical principles responsible for the quality of the cardamom, Elateria cardamomum, matin, is believed to have originated in the evergreen forests of Western Ghats of India and Sri Lanka. Cardamom, belonging to the family Zingiberaceae, is known as the queen of spices, is an important plantation crop of India. The name cardamom is used for species within 3 genera in the ginger family Zingiberaceae. One of these genera is Amomum, where the species are mainly found in Asia and Australia. Another, Ephraimomum, is distributed in Africa and Madagascar, and Elateria is distributed from India to western Malaysia. Cardamom is perhaps the costliest among all the spices. Cardamom is often named as the third most expensive spice in the world after saffron and vanilla, and the high price reflects the high reputation of this most pleasantly scented spice. Cardamoms are the dried fruits of perennial herbs. The seeds have a pleasant aroma and a characteristic warm, slightly pungent taste. There are 2 kinds in cardamom: large cardamom grown in Sikkim and small cardamom grown in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, etc. Cardamom of commerce is the dried, ripe fruit capsules of cardamom plant, often referred as the queen of spices because of its very pleasant aroma and taste. Cardamom is a perennial herbaceous rhizomatous plant. Based on the nature of panicles, 3 varieties are recognized, which includes Malabar with prostrate panicle, Mysore with erect panicle, and Valsuka with semi-erect panicle. Plants are of medium size, from 2 to 3 meters in height, with pubescent leaves on the dorsal side and fruits globose in the case of Malabar, whereas plant robust 3 to 4 meters in height with leaves glabrous on both sides, with ovate capsules in the case of Mysore. Valsuka variety is a mix of both the above in physical characteristics. Large cardamom is a perennial herb with subterranean rhizomes and 50 to 140 aerial leafy shoots. Each shoot has height of 1.7 to 2.6 meter and possesses 9 to 13 leaves in each tiller. Leaves are glabrous on both sides with a prominent mild rib. Inflorescence is a condensed spike with yellowish perianth. Each spike has 10 to 15 fruits. Fruit is round or oval in shape, capsule with reddish brown color. Each capsule is trilocular with many seeds. Large cardamom is cultivated in the sub-Himalayan region of northeastern India, Nepal, and Bhutan. It's grown in cold, humid conditions under shade of trees at an altitude between 800 to 2000 meters above the sea level, with an average precipitation of 3000 to 3500 millimeters spread over about 200 days, and with temperature ranging from 6 to 30 degrees Celsius. Cardamoms are shade-lung plants. Overhead shade is generally provided by forest trees. They grow well in places receiving a well-distributed rainfall throughout the year and with temperatures ranging between 10 and 35 degrees Celsius. Cardamoms prefer well-drained soils rich in organic matter. The crop does not tolerate waterlogging. Most suitable cardamom soils have sandy clay to sandy clay loam texture and are acidic in nature with pH of 4.5 to 5.8. These soils are often deficient in zinc, boron, molybdenum, and manganese. Though the area under cultivation has remained almost stable, the production has increased because the productivity of cardamom has improved a lot in the domesticated front. That's from the low level of 100 kg per hectare yield in 1998 to 1999 to 186 kg per hectare in 2005 to 2006. Though this idea is average yield, some of the plantations produce 1000 to 1500 kg per hectare regularly. The yield in the recent years, however, has started increasing, albeit slowly with increase and use of better planting materials by innovative cardamom growers and installation of drip irrigation systems. The genus Elateria has 7 species. The small cardamom of commerce belongs to the genus Elateria and species Cardamomum. Based on the nature of the plant, panicle, shape, and size of fruits, 3 types of cultivated varieties can be recognized in India, which includes Malabar, Mysore, and Vazuka. Malabar variety, Malabar Nadan by native, as the name suggests, this is the native variety of Kerala. These plants have panicles which grow horizontally along the ground. This variety is being cultivated in low altitude areas like Thorpuza in Idukki district. Mysore, as the name suggests, this is the native variety of Karnataka. These plants have panicles which grow vertically upwards. Vazuka, this is the naturally occurring hybrid between Malabar and Mysore varieties, and the panicles grow neither vertically nor horizontally but in between. The earliest reference to cardamom is a clay tablet from the ancient city of Nippur, Sumeria, dated 2000 BC. Cardamom was an article of the trade between India and the Greece during the 4th century BC. Cardamom was a natural forest product until the early 19th century, and its large-scale organized cultivation started only in the mid-19th century when the demand for cardamom increased worldwide. Nowadays, India accounts for 57% of the total world production of this valuable spice. Other major cardamom producing countries are Guatemala, Tanzania, and Sri Lanka. India's share of supply of cardamom to world market is 52% of the total exports from all countries. The cardamom plant is a 2 to 4 meter tall herbaceous perennial with branched subterranean rhizomes from which several leafy shoots arise, forming a clump. Flowers are borne on erect, prostrate, or semi-erect fleshless inflorescences depending on the variety. Flower initiation takes place along with the onset of the rains. From initiation to full bloom, it takes 25 to 35 days, and from bloom to maturity, 110 to 140 days. The fruit is a trilocular capsule, ovate, globose, dark green to pale green in color. On ripening, the capsule turns yellow in color. It contains 15 to 30 seeds which are dark brown, angled, aromatic, and about 3 mm long with a thin mucilaginous aril. The leaves are lanceolate in shape and lamina tapers into sharp tip, 25 to 90 cm long and 5 to 15 cm wide. Leaves are dark green and shiny on the upper surface and pale green on the lower surface. The lower surface of the leaf could be smooth, glabrous, or pubescent, hairy, depending on the variety. The inflorescence arises from the base of the leafy shoot and is around 45 to 120 cm long. Cardamom is exported in the form of dried cardamom capsules. Cardamom plantations provide employment to a large number of laborers and support many industries engaged in the post-harvest technology. The total area under cardamom in the country is estimated at 93,000 hectares, which alone accounts for nearly 90% of the total world average. Production is concentrated mainly in India and Guatemala. India has the largest producer, consumer, and exporter till 1980. But afterwards, its position was taken over by the Guatemala. In the latter country, the crop was introduced in 1920 and its production considerably expanded after the World War II due to high market prices and the drop of coffee prices. In India, the natural habitat of small cardamom is the evergreen forest of Western Ghats on the Malabar coast of southwest India. This area is commonly known as the Cardamom Hills. State-wise, area and production of cardamom small in India, Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu occupy about 57%, 36% and 7% of cardamom cultivable area in India. Kerala is the highest cardamom producing area in India. In Kerala, the major cardamom growing zones are Udambankola Taluka, Pirmedu Taluka and Devikulam Taluka. Cardamom plants normally start bearing 2 years after planting. Throughout the cropping season of cardamom, that is from August to March, approximately 6 picking is done in each 45 days interval. In most of the areas, the peak period of harvest is during October to November. Ripe capsules are harvested in order to get maximum green color during curing. The output of cardamom is greatly influenced by climatic conditions. The cardamom plant requires a continuous spell of rain interspersed with periods of good sunshine. The plant is very susceptible to attack by pests and diseases. Besides, the cardamom growing tracts in the country are facing severe ecological degradation over the past 2 decades due to diminishing forest cover, leaving the region open to devastation by floods and droughts. Cardamom requires tropical forest conditions for growth, and the lack of such areas makes very few states in the country suitable for its plantation. The retention of its characteristic green color is the most important quality criteria while processing cardamom rather than recovering percentage. Ripe fruits do not achieve desired color, therefore maturity stage is very critical. Harvesting of cardamom is a laborious process. Capsules just short of full ripeness are harvested in order to get maximum green color during curing. At this stage, all the seeds inside the fruit will become black in color and the pericarp will be green. The green color of the spice while harvesting has to be retained during post-harvest operations without lowering its intrinsic qualities. The Middle East, South Asia, Southeast Asia, and Europe are the main markets for cardamom consumption. From 2006 to 2008, global demand for cardamom rose steadily from 31,448 metric tons to 37,712 metric tons. Following the global financial crisis of 2008, imports dramatically dropped to 25,566 metric tons but rebounded slightly to 26,946 metric tons in 2009. Due to continuous harvesting of small cardamom in different production centers in recent years, auction is being conducted throughout the year as desired by the growers. As per the Cardamom Licensing and Marketing Rules in 1987, all the producers of cardamom should sell their produce through a licensed auctioneer or dealer. An auctioneer can conduct more than one auction center subject to separate license for each functioning. For the service of the auctioneer, up to 1% of the sale price is charged as commission. With the introduction of online futures trading in cardamom small by National Multi-Commodity Exchange on 11 February 2004, the traders and growers in the physical market has benefited. More awareness is required among the participants to reap the absolute benefit of price discovery and price risk management by futures market operation. In order to build up a healthy and fair trade practice with the involvement of innumerable anonymous trade participants, futures market is very essential, but artificially price rigging in the auction will be absent, and also price discovery with proper gradation is possible. World production of cardamom is estimated at about 35,000 metric tons. Presently, major producer is Guatemala, recording an average annual production of about 20,000 to 23,000 metric tons. India is the second largest producer with an average production of 15,000 metric tons. Indian cardamom is considered as superior quality, but in the international markets, India has always been outpriced by Guatemala, which has negligible domestic consumption responsible for the low pricing. Despite its numerous applications in the cooking styles of Sri Lanka, India and Iran, 60% of the world production is exported to Arab, Southwest Asia, North African countries, where the larger part is used to prepare the coffee. According to the most recent available data, global production of small and large cardamom was approximately 70,000 metric tons in 2006, with Guatemala and India accounting for about 45% and 21% of total production respectively. Guatemala only produces small cardamom, while India produces both types. Guatemala and India have dominated cardamom production, but since 2003, Indonesia has been emerged as an additional key producer. In 2006, Indonesia was the number 3 producer, accounting for about 18% of the total production. With respect to large cardamom production, Indonesia was the top producer, accounting for about 45% of production, with Nepal 23%, India 15% and China 14%, accounting for most of the remainder in 2006. Cardamom flavored coffee is almost a symbol for Arab hospitality. Export of cardamom increased during the year 1998 to 99 both in quantity and value, that is 475 tons valued rupees 25.21 crores as against 370 tons valued rupees 12.68 crores of the previous year. Latest reports also indicate that the export trend is going up, but that all-time high export, that is 2876 metric tons, was recorded during the year 1978 to 79. Cardamom is the second important spice, still contributing considerable amount of the economy to the nation. With the emergence of Guatemala as the leading producer and the supplier of the cardamom, India's export has declined considerably. Tanzania, Sri Lanka, Papua New Guinea, Honduras, Costa Rica, El Salvador are the major producers of the cardamom. Still, India is the largest consumer of the cardamom in the world. Cardamom of commerce is the dried fruit which is chief commodity being traded under the name of small cardamom. However, value-added products of the cardamom are developed as extractions such as cardamom oil and oleoresin and raw cardamom-based products like the cardamom powder, decorticated seeds, seed powder, cardamom cola, beverage, cardamom flavored flan, etc. The chemical composition of cardamom differs considerably with variety, region, and age of the product. Cardamom is rich in vitamin C, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin B6, zinc, copper, iron, sodium, manganese, potassium, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, respectively. It contains volatile oil in the range of 2.8 to 6.2% and protein of 10% approximately. It also contains fixed oil in the range of 1 to 10% and the starch of 50%. The volatile oil is composed mainly of alpha-terpinyl acetate and 1,8-cineol, each of which may be present at concentrations of up to 50% or more. Lesser components include limonene, saponine, linalool, linalyl acetate, alpha-pinene, alpha-terpineol, camphene, myrcene, 1,4-cineol, borneol, and others. Acid constituents of the oil include acetic, butyric, decanoic, dodecanoic, citronellic, gyranic, hexanoic, heptanoic, nerolic, and peroleic acids. The fixed oil mainly consists of waxes containing N-alkanes and sterols, including beta-cytocysteine, stigmasterol, and beta-cytosterol. The essential oil in the seeds contain alpha-terpineol 45%, myrcene 27%, limonene 8%, menthone 6%, and beta-phenidine 3%, 1,8-cineol 2%, savinine 2%, and heptane 2%. Compositions of the oil vary depending on the types, for example, Mysore and Malabar. Oils containing a low content of cineol but high content of terpenyl acetate are considered to be of superior quality for flavor applications. The content of volatile oil in the seeds is strongly dependent on the storage conditions with an average yield from 2 to 5%. The oil is described as sweet, spicy, warm, lightly camphorated, and citrusy. The basic cardamom aroma is produced by combination of the major components like 1,8-cineol and alpha-terpenyl acetate. Cardamom, belonging to the family Zingiberaceae, is known as the queen of the spices. It's an important plantation crop of the India. The name cardamom is used for the species within 3 genera in the ginger family Zingiberaceae. One of these genera is Amomum, where the species are mainly found in Asia and Australia. Another, Ephraimomum, is distributed in Africa and Madagascar, and Elateria is distributed from India to western Malaysia. Cardamom is perhaps the costliest among all the spices. Cardamom is often named as the third most expensive spice in the world after saffron and vanilla, and the high price reflects the high reputation of this most pleasantly scented spice. There are 2 kinds of cardamoms found in the spice world: true cardamom or small cardamom, Elateria; large cardamom, Nepal cardamom, or the black cardamom, belongs to the genus Amomum. The chemical composition of cardamom differs considerably with variety, region, and age of the product. Cardamom is rich in vitamin C, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin B6, zinc, copper, iron, sodium, manganese, potassium, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, respectively. It contains volatile oil in the range of 2.8 to 6.2% and contains the protein in approximately 10%, fixed oil 1 to 10%, and starch. So students, let's now summarize what we have learned in this module. Tanzania, Sri Lanka, Papua New Guinea, Honduras, Costa Rica, and the El Salvador are the other major producers of the cardamom. Cardamom can be purchased in organic or the conventional forms and has a mild, ginger-like sweet flavor. Cardamom is rich in vitamin C, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin B6, zinc, copper, iron, sodium, manganese, potassium, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, respectively. It contains volatile oil composed mainly of a terpenyl acetate and 1,8-cineol and is present in the range of 2.8 to 6.2%, each of which may be present at the concentrations of up to 50% or the more. It contains protein of 10% approximately, fixed oil 1 to 10%, and the starch of 50%. Indian cardamom is considered as of the superior quality, but in the international markets, India has always been outpriced by the Guatemala. which has a negligible domestic consumption responsible for the low pricing. Thank you.
By now, you must have knowledge about the composition of cardamom, which has been given by my co-author, and this knowledge will be further used in the next module, which is about the grading of cardamom. Thank you.